There are nights when silence feels louder than thunder. When your chest feels so heavy, you wonder if the air has conspired against you. You wake up, and before your feet even touch the floor, the same dark weight presses down again. That relentless whisper, "Today won't be any different." It eats at you. And as the clock ticks past midnight, millions of people just like you are trapped in the same prison, scrolling, searching, desperate for something to break the cycle of worry, regret, and the torture of what-ifs. But nearly 2,000 years ago, a man who ruled the most powerful empire on earth discovered a way out of that prison. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor burdened with wars, betrayal, plague, and grief, should have collapsed under the sheer weight of it all. Instead, in the quiet of his tent, he wrote words that cut through time like fire in the dark. "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Those words weren't theory, they were survival. And today, they can be yours. This isn't about tricking yourself into optimism or painting a fake smile over scars that still bleed. This is about building a mind that no storm can break. An inner fortress that remains unmoved no matter how fierce the winds rage outside. Think about that breakup that gutted you. The one where love turned to silence and silence turned to scars. Think about that career disappointment that left you questioning whether you were ever enough. Think about those sleepless nights when anxiety spread through your body like wildfire, burning everything in its path. What if none of that was meant to destroy you, but instead to shape you into someone unshakable? Marcus Aurelius discovered what most people never will. We don't suffer because of life's blows. We suffer because we resist them. We clench our fists at fate, when the real victory comes from mastering the battlefield of our own mind. And in the next few minutes, you're going to learn exactly how to do that. How to stop letting circumstances dictate your peace. How to turn suffering into raw material for resilience. How to stand tall when life tries to bring you to your knees. These aren't abstract ideas. They are weapons you can wield today, in the very moments that threaten to break you. This journey will unsettle you. Growth always does. But if you stay with me, if you take in every principle with open hands, you will never see pain the same way again. You'll see it for what it truly is, the fire that forges strength. So, before we begin, breathe for a moment. Let the weight you carry rise to the surface. And now, make this decision with me, that from this day forward, you choose strength over suffering. If you're ready to break free, hit that like button. Share your current struggle in the comments. Your honesty might be the rope someone else is clinging to. Subscribe to join this community of people choosing growth over despair. And drop this affirmation below: I choose strength over suffering. Because today isn't about escaping your pain, it's about transforming it. Now, let's get into it. Life doesn't break you with events. It breaks you with the meaning you attach to them. That job loss, that breakup, that betrayal you didn't see coming. None of these things are born good or bad. They are blank, empty. They only become heavy once you put your hands on them and decide what they mean. And that's the terrifying truth most people never face. Your suffering doesn't live in reality. It lives in the story you keep telling yourself about reality. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." He wasn't being poetic. He was giving you the formula for freedom. Pain doesn't come from the present moment. It comes from dragging yesterday into today, or projecting tomorrow's fears into now. Right this second, someone else is going through the same storm you're in. One person is convinced it's proof that life is cruel. The other sees it as the training ground for their greatest transformation. Same storm, two different worlds. Think back to your darkest day last year, the one that nearly swallowed you whole. Remember how certain you were that you couldn't survive it. And yet, here you are, breathing, standing, stronger, even if you don't realize it yet. That's the raw power of perception. It has been shaping your survival without you even noticing. What crushed you in the moment has already been absorbed into your strength. And that should send a chill down your spine, because it means you've been carrying a weapon your whole life without knowing how sharp it really is. But here's the trap. We confuse our first emotional reaction with truth. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and instantly you feel disrespected. Your boss critiques your work, and suddenly you feel worthless. A friend goes silent and your chest burns with abandonment. Those reactions feel so real, so justified, that we never stop to ask if they're lies. Our mind is whispering in panic. The discipline of perception is the art of pausing before you let the world dictate your emotions. Between stimulus and response lives a space so powerful it can rewrite your entire life. Instead of "why me?" try "for me." Instead of "this is terrible," say "this is information." Instead of "I can't take this," whisper "I'm learning to take this." That pause isn't weakness, it's the purest form of strength. It's the proof that nothing can enslave your mind unless you hand over the keys. Your struggles aren't punishments, they're invitations. Every challenge that claws at you is a sparring partner, testing your grit, sharpening your edge, preparing you for the battles ahead that would destroy a weaker man. Change the lens through which you see your problems, and you don't just change your mind, you change your entire reality. This isn't about fake positivity or pretending pain doesn't exist. It's about taking back the one power no one can ever steal from you. The power to decide how you see the world. Your perception is your superpower, and the day you learn to wield it consciously is the day life stops happening to you and starts happening for you. Right now, you are bleeding out your mental energy, drop by drop, on things that will never bend to your will. That's why you feel exhausted before the day even begins, why your chest feels tight with anxiety, why your mind won't stop spinning when you're lying awake at night. You're at war with things you can't touch, and the war is unwinnable. Marcus Aurelius understood this during the plague that tore through his empire. He wrote that some things are within our power and some are not. Within our control, our opinions, our choices, our actions, our values. Beyond our control, our body, our reputation, our status, and every outcome we can't guarantee. When you try to control what was never yours to control, you chain yourself to madness. Imagine this. You wake up each morning with 100 units of energy. That's all you get, no more. But most people burn 70 of those units on ghosts, worrying about what strangers think of them, replaying past mistakes that cannot be undone, obsessing over headlines that won't change no matter how much they suffer, trying to bend the will of people who don't want to change, and then they wonder why they have nothing left for the battles that actually matter. The truth is brutal. You are wasting your life trying to control the wind when you should be adjusting your sails. Here's the raw truth of what you do control. Your next thought, your next word, your next action, the effort you pour into your work, the discipline you carry into your habits, the way you treat people who cross your path, how you respond when life throws you on your knees. That's your domain. That's your fortress. Everything else, the economy, the weather, your boss's decisions, the choices of someone who left you, the way people talk about you behind your back, that's not yours. That was never yours, and it never will be. This realization cuts deep because it kills the illusion we cling to, that if we just tried harder, obsessed longer, worried louder, somehow the world would bend. It won't, and that's terrifying. But it's also the key to liberation. You didn't control losing that job, but you do control whether you rise from it sharper, hungrier, more relentless. You didn't control that person walking away, but you do control whether you let the pain rot you or forge you into someone they'll never forget. The men and women you admire, the ones who walk through life with calm fire in their eyes, they aren't untouchable because life spares them. They're untouchable because they've mastered this discipline. They put every ounce of their energy into the few things they can control, and they release the rest like smoke. That's why they're free. That's why they're strong. Starting today, when stress claws at you, stop and ask, is this mine to control? If the answer is no, let it go. Whisper to yourself, that's not my department, and then walk away with your power intact. Your suffering is born in the gap between what you hold in your hands and what you believe should already belong to you. That silent tug-of-war between your life as it is and the life you think you deserve creates a constant undertow of dissatisfaction that no achievement, no amount of money, no relationship will ever cure. You keep rejecting the life you are actually living in favor of an illusion, and that rejection poisons your joy. Even Marcus Aurelius, a man who sat on the throne of the known world, surrounded by wealth, armies, and power beyond imagination, wrote these words, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate associates you, but do both with all your heart." If the Emperor of Rome needed to remind himself of this truth, what does that say about us? Look around you right now. You are drowning in miracles you no longer see. The device in your hand carries more power than entire governments once had. At any moment, you can summon the knowledge of humanity with a single search. Your heart, beating without your permission, has carried you through millions of moments and still hasn't stopped. Your eyes can witness colors, your ears can receive music, your tongue can taste the sweetness of food, and your skin can feel the sun. Yet instead of falling to your knees in awe, you scroll, you compare, you ache for what's missing. And in that blindness, you let life slip through your fingers. This is not about abandoning ambition or giving up on your dreams. It's about ending the exhausting war with reality that has been draining your soul for years. Every "I wish I had," every "if only I could," every "why don't I have what they have?" These are rebellions against what is. But those rebellions do not build, they only corrode. They don't create change, they create suffering. Think about the thing you complain about most. The job that feels too small for you. The empty bed that reminds you you're alone. The bank account that mocks you. The body that doesn't match the image in your head. Now pause and realize. Someone out there would give everything just to live the life you take for granted. Someone in another corner of the world would see your exact situation as the answer to their prayers, and they would trade places with you in a heartbeat. That truth should shake you. The discipline of desire is not about fake gratitude or shallow mantras. It is a radical act of defiance against a culture that feeds off your hunger, that convinces you you're never enough until you buy, achieve, or prove something more. Gratitude is not weakness, it's rebellion. When you were a child, you didn't need luxury to feel alive. A snow day lit you up. Ice cream could carry you to heaven. A friend's laughter could split open your heart. That ability to feel joy from simple things didn't vanish. It got buried under layers of comparison and not enough. But it's still there. What if instead of endlessly reaching for what's missing, you learn to fully receive what's already here? What if you treated your imperfect life, not the one you dream about, but the one you're actually holding, as the rare, fleeting, irreplaceable gift that it is? That shift doesn't just soften your suffering, it detonates it, and in its place grows a peace that nothing outside you can ever take away. Every obstacle standing in front of you right now is not blocking your path. It is the path. This is one of the most radical truths Stoicism ever gave the world, and once it takes root inside you, it rewires everything. Marcus Aurelius wrote words that burn through centuries. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. These aren't just clever lines, they are a survival code. We've been brainwashed into believing that problems are interruptions, that they're mistakes in the script of our lives. You get sick, you lose a job, someone betrays you, and your mind screams, "This shouldn't be happening." But what if it should? What if your struggles are not detours, but the precise terrain you were meant to walk? What if life is not random, but relentlessly intelligent, handing you the exact resistance you need to sculpt the exact strength you'll need tomorrow? Think of the strongest person you know, not the guy with muscles, but the one whose soul doesn't break. That kind of strength is never born in comfort. It's carved out of nights where they didn't think they'd make it, out of betrayals that ripped them apart but didn't kill them, out of storms that forced them to find reserves of grit they didn't know existed. Their pain did not poison them, it forged them. Their scars didn't disfigure them, they became armor. That's why they walk unshaken while others collapse. And right now, you are in your own forging fire. Maybe it's money problems that are teaching you how resourceful you truly are. Maybe it's a health battle that's stripping away the trivial and showing you the sacredness of every moment. Maybe it's heartbreak that shattered your chest, but is silently rerouting you toward a love that will rewrite your entire story. Maybe it's failure at work that feels like humiliation, but in truth is saving you from shrinking into a life too small for your destiny. What if this struggle you're in isn't proof that you're lost, but proof that you're exactly where you should be? What if every rejection was a redirection, every closed door a shield, every heartbreak a preparation? What if life isn't punishing you, but preparing you for a level of strength, freedom, and greatness that cannot exist without this exact resistance? The discipline of will is the art of leaning into the weight instead of running from it. It's befriending difficulty instead of cursing it. It's seeing every obstacle not as a wall, but as a trainer, pushing you, shaping you, breaking you down only so you can rise again unbreakable. The struggle is not your enemy. The struggle is your coach. And if you embrace it, you will not just survive, you will become unstoppable. You will never live this day again. Never. The breath in your lungs right now, the words piercing your mind, the pulse of possibility in this exact moment. This is a once-in-forever event in the 14 billion years of the universe, and once it slips into memory, it's gone forever. Marcus Aurelius, who lived every day under the shadow of death, wrote, "It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live." He understood that the real tragedy is not dying, it's never truly being alive while you're here. But you've been living like time is infinite, like you've got a secret contract with tomorrow. You scroll away hours on a glowing screen while your dreams rot in the attic of your mind. You avoid conversations that could heal wounds, as if there will always be another chance. You delay the project, the trip, the words of love, waiting for some mythical right time that never arrives. Meanwhile, your life, the only one you'll ever have, is draining out silently, one wasted day at a time. Here's the brutal, liberating truth. There is no dress rehearsal. This is not a practice round. There is no waiting room where you prepare for your real life to begin. This is it. Right here, right now. The someday you keep clinging to is a fantasy. It doesn't exist. The only day that ever arrives is today. The only breath you can control is the one in your chest right now. The only chance to make love real, to create something meaningful, to feel the electricity of living, is this moment. Think of someone you loved who's gone. What would you give for one more ordinary afternoon with them? One more laugh across a table, one more embrace, one more chance to speak the words you swallowed. That ache in your chest is proof of what every single day really is. Precious, irreplaceable, sacred. Yet most of us trample through our days half asleep, treating them like cheap, disposable things, never realizing they are vanishing treasures. The discipline of time isn't about filling your calendar with noise or becoming a slave to productivity. It's about presence. It's about finally showing up for the life that's been waiting for you all along. When you eat, taste every bite. When you speak to someone, listen like their words are gold. When you walk, feel the miracle of your body carrying you forward. And when you love, don't hold back, because this might be the last chance you ever get to love like that. Every sunset you ignore because you're too busy worrying about Monday, it's gone. Every I love you left unsaid because you assumed you'd have another chance. It may have been the one that could have changed everything. Today is your masterpiece. Not tomorrow, not someday, today. So paint it with every color in your soul, because once the canvas is gone, you don't get another. You've just walked through the same fire that shaped the greatest minds of history. The discipline of perception, teaching you that reality itself bends to the meaning you assign it. The discipline of action, reminding you that power belongs only to the one who focuses on what is truly theirs to control. The discipline of desire, showing you that joy is not hidden in what you lack, but blazing quietly in what you already hold. The discipline of will, revealing that every obstacle is not your enemy, but your personal trainer, sculpting you into steel. And the discipline of time, hammering into your soul that today is not disposable. It is your one chance to live, to love, to become. These are not abstract philosophies. They are weapons, sharpened across centuries, waiting for you to pick them up. They are shields against despair, swords against fear, keys that unlock the gates you thought were closed forever. And the moment you use them, you stop being a victim of life's storms and start becoming the storm yourself. Your suffering begins to wither the second you stop wishing reality was different and begin working with what is right in front of you. Your chains fall the instant you stop obsessing over what's outside your power and pour yourself completely into what is yours to command. And your strength multiplies when you realize that life has never been against you. It has been training you all along for something greater. So from this day forward, carry these disciplines like armor. Walk through the world with your eyes open, with your will unbroken, with your heart grateful for the life already in your hands. Don't wait for a future that doesn't exist. Don't waste another breath in hesitation. This is your life. This is your chance. This is your battlefield, and you were born to conquer it. If these words struck something deep inside you, like this video, share it with someone who needs saving from their own storm, and subscribe to Walk This Road with me. Remember, you are not powerless. You are not broken. You are the master of your mind. And once you claim that power, nothing in this world can ever truly break you.